Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Raven Blaze coming back at you, your homie from the East Coast. I just wanted to say, and still, pound for pound, best fighter on the planet today, the modern day Bruce Lee, the Spider, Anderson Silva, takes out the shit-talking, trash-talking, who has no more excuses in the second round, Cheal Sonnen via TKO, which I said that, you know what I mean. Granted, Cheal Sonnen coming in the first round took Anderson Silva down. I mean, controlled him, dominated him, whatever you want to say, for one full round. He just laid on him, in my opinion. He just took him down and laid on him. But second round, Silva's corner was like, okay, the warm-up is over, it's time to fight. Anderson Silva does what he does best, and I thought it was funny how Cheal in the second round tried his damnedest to take Anderson Silva down, and Anderson Silva was just like, no, just kept avoiding the takedown, and when Anderson Silva got his chance to strike, just, you know, struck hard and fast, and Sonnen didn't know really what to do. When you take away that, when you got a fighter like Cheal Sonnen who was one-dimensional anyway, you know, he's stubborn. He's gonna stick to that. The last bit of my grape soda, but as I was saying, when you got a fighter like Cheal Sonnen was so one-dimensional, you know, you can't really expect a one-dimensional fighter to go in there and defeat someone the caliber of Anderson Silva. I mean, it's just not gonna happen. It's just really not. I mean, we saw that in the first fight. In the second fight, he didn't even make it out the second round. He didn't even make it out a minute and 55 seconds into the second round before Anderson Silva just said, "Okay, playtime's over. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm knocking your ass out." Was it questionable for Anderson Silva to grab Cheal Sonnen's shorts? But yeah, but even Cheal Sonnen admitted he grabbed his shorts too. So, you know, then there's the supposed illegal knee. No, Anderson Silva coming there heavy with a knee to the body, which means, ladies and gentlemen, that is a legal blow. And Anderson Silva won this shit, in my opinion, fair and square. I mean, you can't. I mean, there are tensions. I mean, yeah. I mean, when you got a fight like that, and you know your fellow countrymen have been talked about, your children have been talked about, your wife has been talked about, your country, you know, your people. Then you know, you're the icon that Anderson Silva is quickly becoming. Then you know it makes a lot of difference. You know, so yeah, dirty things are gonna happen when emotions are involved, and you know, it did happen a little bit on Anderson Silva's part. I'll admit that. You know, grabbing somebody's shorts, you don't do that. You know, but overall, you know, that was the only thing he really did. You know, other than for the second round, just pretty much beat the shit out of Cheal. I thought it was funny. Cheal Sonnen set himself up at one point for Anderson Silva to kind of dominate him when he did like a spinning back fist, which, you know, you're not gonna point no shit like that off on Anderson Silva. I mean, dude's just too quick for that. You know, I mean, in my opinion, you got Anderson Silva, who is by far the closest thing to a Bruce Lee that we will ever see in this generation. I mean, I think even Bruce Lee, if he could come back from the grave, he'd probably say Anderson Silva is the modern day me. You know, I mean, because I mean, we all looked at Bruce Lee as this almost untouchable martial artist. You know, a lot of people look at him on like a godlike level, and I think Anderson Silva, he'll make that transition one day to, you know, when we're all probably passed on, and our children are learning about fighters, and you know, he'll be up there with Bruce Lee. They'll probably be like neck and neck, in my opinion. And in my opinion, I've said this before in another video, I think if you could have a time machine and have Bruce Lee come back and modernize his style of Jeet Kune Do to where it's more MMA-ish, I really don't think no one could stop him in the UFC. And I think the only people that really would have a chance, only 3 people that really would have a chance of defeating him would be Jose Aldo, who's probably around about his weight category, and my God, just fucking lightning fast, just as fast as Bruce Lee. But I think even Jose Aldo would kind of find difficult in fighting someone the caliber of a Bruce Lee, or or John Jones. Put John Jones, even though they're like different weight classes, like have him fight at like a catch weight, because I think that would be interesting to see. But in the end, I really think Bruce Lee would do what he did. I mean, granted, it was just a movie that when he fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but I really think nothing would really change there. Now, if he fought Anderson Silva, then you've got speed versus speed. You've got technique versus technique. You've got skill versus skill, and that's just a battle that I maybe like the fan in me would maybe like, because I'm such an Anderson Silva enthusiast, but I think maybe the fan in me would be prone to say Anderson Silva would win that fight. And I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with that theory, but I don't know, man. It's just one of those fights. It's just one of those fights that we will never get to see, unfortunately. But come on in. But if the chance was given, I really think, if the chance had video was being made, then I think Bruce Lee would fall to Anderson Silva realistically, because I just think Anderson Silva's like here, whereas most fighters are kind of like here. I mean, even like top major fighters like GSP, John Jones, I don't even think they're like on the level of Anderson Silva. I mean, last night proved that. I mean, we also have the first fight where Cheal Sonnen's TRT levels were like 16 something, and then last night they were like 6 something. And we also, in the last fight, Cheal Sonnen took Anderson Silva to the 5th round, and Anderson Silva barely pulled out the submission victory. Then we saw in the second fight, which was last night, that Bama did not make it out the second round. That Bama being Cheal Sonnen, but I'll give Cheal Sonnen a lot of respect for the fact that he's ran out of excuses, and like a man, he stayed there. He didn't run out the cage. Forrest Griffin, he didn't run out the cage. He wasn't crying. He accepted his defeat like a man. You can respect a fighter for doing that. I mean, when Anderson Silva invited him to a barbecue and was just pretty much saying, look, we're both fighters, and we said a lot of nasty stuff to each other leading up to the fight, but that was all hype. That was to get y'all to pretty much tune in. I mean, that's what Anderson Silva was basically saying in so many words, and he invited Cheal to a barbecue, which I think was just so humble of the champ. And like I've said in the past, man, I mean, I was really kind of pissed off at Cheal. I didn't like, you never bring a family's, you never bring a family into this, you never bring another man's family into this, point blank and simple. And don't, leave out the kids, leave out the wife. You're fighting that one man. So I didn't really like that aspect of it. But then again, we've also seen in WWE years past, and in the Attitude Era, where Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart were feuding, DX versus the Hart Foundation. We saw how Shawn Michaels stuck the Canadian flag up Shawn Michaels' nose in front of Bret, which is completely disrespectful. So I mean, those kind of antics I don't really agree with. Looking back on them now, I mean looking back on that now, I really actually kind of disturbs me that I was actually amused by that as a kid, But as a kid, you don't really know much. I'm digressing, going into a different topic here. But I just wanted to say, big ups to the pound for pound king. I mean, Anderson Silva is the best fighter on the planet. He proved that. I mean, he proved that emphatically last night by TKO and Cheal Sonnen, and shutting him up. I just think that that there's really no one left in the middleweight division that can will or beat Anderson Silva. I mean, I think it's time for Anderson Silva to kind of move up to light heavy and take the light heavyweight title off off John Jones, who was an incredible fighter. But once again, I think him fighting Anderson Silva would be like Rashad Evans against Phil Davis all over again. You know, it'd be skill, it'd be experience. It'd be experience versus, no skill. And I think Anderson Silva definitely has that experience. But if anyone has the best technique to probably defeat Anderson Silva, as we've seen, I mean, Cheal Sonnen, like some of you said, laid out the blueprint to defeating Anderson Silva, which is a wrestling. But we all saw how that kind of got in the second round. How much his wrestling skill saved him there. But I'm 10 minutes and 40 seconds into this video. I'm gonna say what I need to say for another minute. Then I'm gonna turn this thing off and get y'all's reactions to this video. I just think overall, you put Anderson Silva in a I put Anderson Silva in a category. So many other people do too, in a category that's just all to himself. Because I mean, there's no fighter in UFC history that has gone in there and has been undefeated like he has. I mean, the dude's on his 10th title reign. If that tells you anything, he's not lost in 5 years. 5 years, folks. This man is not lost in 5 years. And the last time he lost was to Okami via DQ when he did the up kick. That completely knocked him out. So in my opinion, that's not really a loss. It's a win, but whatever. It's on his record. It's on his record as a loss. With that being said, yeah, I don't want to say this. He destroyed Okami in the rematch. So, I think anyone stepping up to Anderson Silva and Anderson Silva defeating him shouldn't be too surprised. That it'll be surprised if Anderson Silva loses. That would be the shocker. But him going in there and defeating, and I don't want to curse my boy by saying that. I don't want to curse him. But I mean, a lot of people expected Cheal Sonnen to pull this one out, but he didn't even make it out the second round, which I predicted. Between the second and third round, Cheal Sonnen was getting knocked out, and I think it was Michael Bisping and Kenny Florian that were on MMA or on UFC Insider, and they picked Cheal Sonnen to win this fight. I bet they're looking stupid right now. With that being said, folks, I've said my piece. Anderson Silva is still the man, and I will always think that this cool, laid-back Brazilian man who's all about his family and the sport that he loves so much, that he's the king of, or about like the only thing that this man has in his life. When you're at the level of Anderson Silva, then there's no one that's gonna really stop you from doing pretty much, from accomplishing a lot. And with that being said, y'all, Raven Blaze, I'm out, man. Peace. 4, 2, 4, 2.